Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Amused Jester. My name is Junior. Um, Today we're going to be looking at an old figure, but I just recently acquired it. This is from Hot Toys 1/6 scale Deluxe Hulkbuster, the first version. Well, actually the first Hulkbuster. This is actually the second version of the Hulkbuster offered by Hot Toys. This one comes with the jackhammer. Originally, it was not offered with the jackhammer, and the jackhammer was bought as a separate accessory. Original price was, I believe, around $850 from Sideshow. I was still heavily collecting Iron Man Hot Toys then. I was collecting every piece. But when this was offered, I was able to find a store in Hawaii that was offering to sell it or pre-order it for $750. So obviously, after some researching and knowing that it was a reputable store, I went ahead and pre-ordered there. Unfortunately, Sideshow found out about it, and they put a cease and desist letter because Sideshow is the only recognized distributor for Hot Toys for North America. So that was against the law for them to do. Unfortunately, when this whole happened, and my pre-order and the rest of our pre-orders from that store got canceled, by that time, the pre-orders have been sold out from some Sideshow. So I was not able to get this at retail price, and $850 at a time plus tax plus shipping from Sideshow. I estimated that it would have been around $900, $950 to pay for it, and at that time that was the limit of what I was willing to pay for this. So what basically happened was this ended my collection for Hot Toys Iron Man. Well, mostly for Hot Toys. The thing is, if my feeling at the time was if I was not going to be able to complete the line has basically ended for me. And as a sideways segue, that's how I feel about my collection, and that's the reason why I stopped, kind of like lost enthusiasm for collecting McFarlane toys, because of their pricing structure, which I wholeheartedly disagree with. I've lost enthusiasm for that line because if I can't complete it up to the point that I want, then there's no point for me continuing the collection. And that's how I've always felt. So fast forward to several years later, Hot Toys did offer the Hulkbuster once again, and this time with the jackhammer. Fortunately, the price was around $1,000, but at that time I had stopped collecting Hot Toys. I had kind of gotten used to the idea that I don't need it anymore, and I was happy and satisfied and content with the collection that I have, so I decided not to buy it. $1,000 I thought was too expensive. And from the review, I've seen that articulation is very limited on this one. It's basically going to be a statuesque toy. But so I decided not to buy it then. Now, like I said, I've gotten content with my collection. I've been okay with not having this in my collection. And I realized there's no way I was going to buy aftermarket upwards to over $1,000 on this thing if I wasn't willing to pay $1,000 back then. So I knew it wasn't going to be part of my collection. But I came up on a listing on eBay, and he was willing to sell it for $785 as a buy it now. But then he put up a make an offer on it. So I made an offer for $700. Shipping was $25. $700, and he was originally asking for $785. There are a few problems with it, and the seller was very honest about it. One of the back plates is missing. One of the shoulder connection was worn, and I suspected it had been broken and re-glued to the best of their ability, and it was barely functional. So the seller was very, very upfront about that. I posted pictures and I calculated it. Back plate. You guys even see where the missing back plate is? Of course not, because you're looking at the front, which is what this thing is going to be displayed at. So I considered that. I considered that from the pictures that he showed, I knew that there was a good chance I can fix it to a point. And we're talking about over $200 or $300 worth of difference from buying it brand new. Okay, seller was very honest. In fact, when he was displaying it, he was displaying it with the jackhammer, and while he was packaging it up, one of the fingers fell off on the jackhammer, and I'll show that to you later on. And he showed me pictures, and he kept updating me, and I was looking at it, and I decided to go ahead with the purchase anyway. And here it is. It's arrived, and it's everything as he said. It wasn't damaged by UPS, so I'm very, very thankful for the delivery driver for not kicking it around or respecting my item. But $700, guys, $700 plus shipping, $25 shipping, plus tax. It all came up to about $815. Not a bad deal. So this is actually the second time I filmed this introduction. Let me patch up a few of the earlier shots. So from this point on, it'll be a different background, different setting. And I hope you find the rest of the video enjoyable. Now, just to let you know, the seller is very honest. I'm not going to mention his name. He knows who he is. He's very honest. He basically told me the reason why he was selling it was there's a back plate this side that's missing. But you don't see it because it's in the back, right? It's big. It's a big piece. It's almost like this big. Also, this piece over here that holds this part, I don't know why Hot Toys made this as translucent plastic. It's so stupid on their part, but it's kind of broken up already, and it's very, very weak. I think the original owner tried to fix it and glued it up, but it's not gonna hold it, right? You can put it in place, it will hold it, but I'm okay with that. I can fix that, I think, and I'm actually gonna show you how I'm gonna fix it. But $700. You guys know how much originally the second version of this was going for? $950 or $1,000. The second version. Look it up on eBay right now. If for a brand new, so I looked it up, brand new in box. It's around $1,200. Maybe you can get one for $1,000 if you're really, really lucky. But I just took, it's $300, guys. I just had to take the chance. And it arrived in the original packaging. The seller still had the original packaging. I was very, very nervous because we all know this thing is very, very heavy, very complex, a lot of small pieces that I'm afraid it might get destroyed during transit, but it didn't. It arrived exactly as the seller mentioned. Everything else is there. And I haven't tested the lights. He hasn't tested the lights, if it's working or not. I'm not too worried about it because honestly, I have all my Hot Toys and I turn it on when I receive it and I inspect it, and I've never turned it back on again. So I'm not worried about the lights. I'll eventually test it. So, all right, 5 minutes in. So let's see what's going on, right? Everything's all in place. This was disconnected. I had the unboxing, but I'm not going to include that. I don't think it's irrelevant. But I was able to figure out how it goes in. I still haven't put in the figure yet, this one. Like I said, everything's complete. This one does come with, I can't remember the name of this, Veronica, I think, the space module thing. And this piece right here is basically what you're gonna need to insert somewhere over here so that you can pop off the arm. So how am I gonna fix this? What I'm gonna use a glue gun. I love glue guns because it's completely reversible. So you're not gonna be caught if something happens. You're not gonna be completely destroying it. This it's holding it, but it's barely holding it because I think it broke and he glued it. So there's not any more friction on it. This actually, when you plug it in, is very hard to plug in because first this has this articulation, this one and this joint, and then this one goes back and forth, as you can see. So let's see what's gonna happen if I. I'm kind of hoping that once the hot glue has dried, it will have enough friction. Now, obviously, it's gonna stick, so I'm gonna have to twist it around to force it to come loose from the glue because I need articulation on it. And if it pops off again, that's fine. It's just hot glue anyway. So at this point, as you can see, it's already sticking. Before you can put it in, but it will fall off because it's basically literally hanging in there. Now at least it's sticking. Now this, see, now I can move it in and out, and I can see. Okay, now it's coming off from the hot glue. It's rotating. Yeah, it's coming off. It wasn't plugged it in. Now, here's me removing the hot glue that I've just put in here. This is the reason why hot glue is the safest way to do this, because as you can see, it just popped off. And not only that, because the hot glue basically cleaned the inside as well. So I can see also how much remained. Okay, so that's cool. So we'll do the hot glue again. I'm putting a little bit more. I gotta make sure I support it so it's not articulating and all that stuff. We'll try that. I have a different idea of what I want to do later on. Let's see if that one works better. Let that dry a little bit more. While we're here, I'm gonna go ahead and try to insert this one. You guys, you can search other reviews, but you can literally put the Mark 42 or 43 inside this. There's an actual cavity where it goes in. I don't know how they did that. And be leery when you're handling this, because like I said, there's a cavity where you can put in the Mark 43 or 44 inside the legs, and I don't know how they did that, so which means the legs are literally hollow in here. So I think I should be able to just, and there's a magnet in there that basically connects it. So this one is already moving. So as long as I'm not forcing it, so it's not rotating where I have it hot glued, everything's in there, but I want that movement too. So yeah, okay, so now I believe the steps is to close this up first. And then this is all by magnets too. This is a magnet here somewhere. Ah, it looks like it came off again. Okay. The second attempt failed. So the hot glue is still in there. And it's stuck in there. So my second attempt that I want to do is I'm gonna actually apply this hot glue in here, and then another one over there too. So let's see. So what I'm hoping this will do is, by having those two halves of hot glue combined inside, the one that I connected to this joint encapsulates the ball more. So that it completes the circle more of the socket. Still looking for that instruction booklet. Let's open. I'll glue out of the way. There we go. Look at that, guys. There we go. Now there's these two pieces that you're supposed to connect like this. There's a bar over here, so you connect it this way. But I saw some guy do it the other way around. But let's see how it looks the way they want it done first. And then you have magnets, and then you have these four poles that connect into these two holes over here. So the magnet just basically, yeah, easy peasy. And then this one goes, let's make it easy for myself. This is also magnets here. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Magnets here. Okay. See that? Right, this one. It's kind of hard to see. There is that small lash. Just bring it out. So bring this up first. Bring this up next. Like that. And then bring this down. Is that a good enough connection like that? Let's see. I think that's supposed to be like that. Yeah, that's better. Okay, now this is the, here's the thing. Oh, I want to replace this one because I don't want it battle damaged. I want my Hulkbuster clean. Carefully lift that, remove this, and how does that work? I see. Copy the position. Make sure that's flushed in there. I'm sure you guys would have preferred the battle damage, but I actually kind of like it better clean. The scuffs is good enough for me in terms of battle damage. Now let's see. It's not completely resting in the groove. I gotta figure out what to do with that. Oh, okay. There. All right, look at that. And what's going on here? Gotta figure out how this is supposed to go. I think they should be lower. Yeah, that's supposed to be lower. The thing is, what you don't see is that there's a latch here. So supposed to put this out first and then you can lift this one. So you can see though, like look at that. It's, you know, it's working now. It's out. When I received it, this head was actually loose and I had to reinsert it back there. So I'm not sure if I did that properly or not. It looks good. Didn't go down that much. I'm not sure though if that's correct. It looks like. Put this up again. Put this in like this. Put this one first and then put this one up. So you can kind of latch it behind. Close this off. Put this one down carefully. And put this one up. Latch it in the middle here. And then carefully push this down. So that's my repair. And just like that, I didn't even realize you guys can't see it, so big. But yeah, I mean, like, that's it. That's how I'm gonna basically display him. Now the Hulkbuster, this is a very, very heavy piece. I think it's like, it feels like about 20 pounds. There's not the articulation. There is articulation in here more so than this, the Hulkbuster 2, which is basically like a statue. But there's articulation, it's limited, and it's very heavy, so the ratchets are very heavy. I think the ratchets are basically die cast. Well, just listen to this. And there's effort me turning that. The thing is, I'm being very, very careful on this one. Notice the placement of my arms basically supporting where the actual ratchet is. Now there's a bicep swivel here. It's very tough. When I first tried it out, it's so tough. I thought maybe it was broken and I didn't know. So I had to go through the instructions really carefully on this one. But there is rotation on the bicep, very stiff. So these tend to move because it's just almost like a floating pins and all that stuff. This does go out. Luckily, this one, the ratchets are easier, not as tough as going forward and back, but as you can see, this is really heavy. And this, the shoulder, notice that it actually goes in and out like so, and then this one goes, I think this one separates. Like that. Also, when this arrived, this was off, so that allowed me to look at the hinges inside the shoulders. So that I can see how they're supposed to move. If you ever get a chance to own this, or anything like this, that's what I would suggest. Look at the hinges and see how they're supposed to move. That way you're not forcing it. And then look at the instructions. It's obviously an expensive item. You don't want to be breaking it. So this is definitely not a toy to treat it like a toy. It's sturdy. It's well made, but it's still very, very delicate. The range of movement, let me move some of these things out of the way. And when I'm picking this up, notice I'm picking it with both hands right here at the crotch. I'm not sure if that's correct, but I feel like that's got to be the strongest part. The safest way to move it. You don't want to be touching it by the arms and everything. So I want to show how much movement you're going to get off of this elbow. And that's it, because then you start hitting the armor or pieces over here. The elbow is on a hinge joint back here. So you can do at least kind of like that when you're moving it and closing off the gap. Look at his natural stance. It kind of leans forward. I don't think you can do better than that. When I try, I'll stand him up as straight as I think it should be, and then I'll move the ankle joint. See if that will help me a little bit more, but that's as straight as you can make him. Like I said, this moves forward. This is the elbow that I was talking about. Be careful because of the angle, this one angled that one. And that's straight over there. I'm not gonna show you how to move the hips. I think the movement's up to here only. It's really heavy. I'd have to lay it down, and I'm not comfortable with that. Literally, this is almost like static all the way down. It's not. There is movement in there. There's like a 15-degree movement either or, but because of the weight, I wouldn't even kind of recommend playing around with it. I want to show you guys the back plate that's missing. Is this part right here. Basically the battery cover. I'm contacting the seller. I'm really hoping maybe he just lost it somewhere in his area, in his space, and maybe he'll find it, and I'll pay for it to, just to complete it. But to be honest, so this is the missing part. Maybe I'll just take this off, and then then it will be like symmetrical. You don't see the back panel anymore, and I'm okay with that. For $700, $300 less when it first shipped out. If you were to buy this second hand, I don't know if you guys will ever be able to find the same deal that I got. And I really got lucky with the seller because he was very communicative about the whole process. He packaged it in the original packaging. It is a big package though, so I don't know how much. If he were to pad it out a little bit more for protection, it would just be way too much. Now, I can't believe it. I can't believe I got it for $700 with taxes and everything. It came out to like maybe $815, which is still way below what I would have paid initially with Sideshow. If I purchased it for $850 plus their shipping was probably going to be like $20 or $30 plus tax. It would have been around $950 to $1,000. That's how I was calculating it back then. So the deluxe version of this one, which is what this one is, which was selling for $950, I think, or $1,000, it would have been around $1,100 to $1,150. So yeah, this is finally, and yeah, I'm very happy with the purchase. Let me pause this. Oh, by the way, this is the one of the jackhammers. I say one of the jackhammers because this is the one where you can put Hulk's arm to capture it. Remember, there was a scene where he captures Hulk's arm inside. This is meant to go to this other arm. Now, let me show you that, and the seller was very upfront that when he was, because when he was showing this on eBay, this is the arm that's connected to that one. And when he was replacing it and putting the original on, this finger came off. Let me see how it comes off. Come on, I know you're loose. Look at that, it's not even coming off now. It wasn't his fault. I think what happened was the glue. Come on, I know you're loose. There it is. I just didn't know how it was loose. See how the glue, there's nothing broken. I think it's just the glue that Hot Toys used just basically wasn't enough, or it just came off. But look, I mean, like, if I didn't know, you saw how I had to figure out how to take it out, right? I mean, yeah. So, and when he showed pictures of it too. So when he showed me the picture, I wasn't completely clear on what was going on where the break was, but I suspected it might have been the case, because when you can't tell if it broke off of here or what. I wasn't gonna say anything until I inspected it personally. But yeah, and then what the heck, is this supposed to turn these fingers or not? But honestly though, I don't even think I'm gonna put this on. I really like my Hulkbuster design symmetrical like that. This one comes expands, and I think this one expands. Did you guys see that? Oh, man, I don't know. And let's see, there's no bend obviously to this one. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, the idea of it is really cool. I just don't think I'll ever use it, but it'll be a nice display. There he goes. This will be a nice display piece, and I'm not too worried about this finger coming. Oh, it's easy glue. Man, but look at this guy. So I bought this, I think June 29 or something like that. It just arrived today, July 3rd. And I was talking to my brother about it, and he mentioned that there was a guy selling something off of OfferUp, the Mark II, for 160. And I said, well, depends on which Mark II it is. If it's the original, 160 is kind of high because it's an old tech Iron Man. But if it's the Mark II Unleashed for 160, that would have been a good deal. Which one was it? Can you guys guess? Mark II Unleashed. And I'm like, screw it, I'm buying that. So I just spent $700 on this one, and I went ahead and bought the Mark II Unleashed. I haven't even taken it out of the packaging yet. I just inspected it. This was local too, so there's no shipping or anything, no taxes. It's just straight 160, guys. So if you're thinking straight, if you're thinking like, okay, how much would have been the tax on that one? Like 16, 20 bucks plus shipping's 10 bucks, $36, 160. Actually, it wasn't 160. I offered 150. So 150 minus maybe 30 bucks with shipping and taxes, that's like 120. 120 for this. Do you guys know what this is? Mark II Unleashed. This basically, you can tear it apart. It's got a base that comes with it. I haven't inspected the base. I'm not sure if it's cardboard or not. Oops, it's still on. But this is not about the Mark II, but I just wanted to show you something crazy. So definitely one of the improvements with the Mark II Unleashed compared to the original was this is no longer rubber. The original one was rubber, so it had a tendency to fade in color. And you can take this apart all the way down to the almost like an skeleton. You guys, I brought this up. You guys want to see something crazy? No, that's not the crazy part. That's the crazy part. Look at how freaking big this arm is. It's literally bigger than the freaking 12-inch toy. Now this is the extended one. Here's the non-extended one. And it's still bigger. There goes the finger again. This thing keeps giving me the finger. I'm so freaking happy. It's like $700. I can't believe it. I got so lucky. Like, I messaged the guy, the original seller, on this one immediately, and I thanked him. I thanked him, honestly, that he put it up for sale, and I was lucky enough to find it and get it from him. And he did really a good job, and we were both lucky that the shipping, whoever handled the shipping in this one didn't mess it up, didn't toss it around like a freaking football and everything. I get really lucky with my delivery guys. Thank you, delivery guys, for taking care of my products and not messing it about. This video is almost done. One more comparison that I wanted to show. There he is with the Hot Toys Hydra Stomper. Now this is still much better, the Hydra Stomper, than the Hulkbuster 2, because even though from the waist down this is completely stationary, everything waist up is basically like a Hot Toys, and this one does open up. I don't have Steve Rogers in, and I wasn't interested in getting him anyway, because when I looked at the review, you literally have to like squat him and bend his knees over, and the figure doesn't stand straight out down like this one does, which is kind of weird. They did that because the legs are stationary, it's hollow. It would have been the perfect vessel to put in a standing Steve Rogers, but they didn't do that, which was a disappointment. Look how much more smaller this is. One other thing I wanted to show, watch this. I can pick this up easily with one hand, no strain whatsoever. I can't do that with this. And when I lift it with two hands, I strain. You hear me grunt, right? This I was kind of lucky when I got the Hydra Stomper. I got it for like maybe $400, which I kind of thought that was kind of a good deal. I still think it's a good deal. It's still a presence in there to look at, but like I didn't realize. I thought it was the Hulkbuster was going to be as tall as the Hydra Stomper, and in a way it kind of is, but definitely there's a massiveness to this one. There's the width, the height, the construction, the complexity, the stuff inside it. If you ever get a chance to own it, treat it with kid gloves, because like I said, this figure can actually fit inside here standing up. There's cavities in the legs, the way they constructed it, and yeah, this is possibly the last best piece that Hot Toys constructed. After this, in my opinion, I think they went downhill, and the sense of purpose of the company changed from being a fan-centric, collector-centric toy company that Howard Chen originally envisioned, where he's trying to produce toys that he would collect. So he would put in massive amounts of accessories, playability factor, all that stuff disappeared now on the Hot Toys. Now it's like you want battle damage, you have to get a second version. You want more articulation, oh, it's plug-in now. It's not like it doesn't come off or anything. It's so different now, the Hot Toys that he produces. So when he followed through with his promise that you would be able to put the Mark 43 or something in here as a feature, that was the last, I think, the last greatest thing he's ever done. After that, I think it just like went downhill for Hot Toys. So and you can tell because the Hulkbuster 2 is like, wow, wow. All I can say is like that thing is crap. And to charge $500 for a big vinyl toy, I can't even imagine that. What else? The Yeah, I'm just very, very glad I was able to get this. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There are other videos out there that would do more justice on the articulation and everything. This video is just to share my enthusiasm. One more thing I forgot to show. This actually just comes off. When you get it, it comes off anyway. So I took it out just to show you show better what's possible with this. This is kind of irritating because it's very loose, but it does extend to kind of like a taser or something, I guess. This one comes up. This one also comes up. There's a battery compartment over there. This latch actually opens up. I kind of hesitate to open it because I don't know why they did this. It actually has a lip inside, so you can open it up. But I'm never gonna display it with an opening. But this one does open up. The lip is in here, so if you get it and you're trying to open it, just be very, very careful. See that one small lip. I don't know why, but when it's like that, just push it ever so carefully, there, and there. I don't think I'll ever use this feature. Why is there even a battery in here? What lights does this have? I don't know. Just plug it in like so. Like so. Alright guys, that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys were able to enjoy this. If yours were damaged in any way, try out my solution for the hot glue. As you can see, it's working. It's not working perfectly like it was originally. The only way to do that is to make a mold and copy that socket with a much firmer rubber, but then you'd have to worry about how to insert it and everything. Mine is just hot glue gun, cheapy, easily reversible. Seems to work, so I'm good with that. So and I'll see you in the next unboxing. Have a nice day.